Chapter 6. Your first move, how to get started without a tech team. There is a moment that every business leader reaches when learning about something new and genuinely important. The moment when the understanding clicks, the opportunity becomes real. And the next question arrives with some urgency. Right. So, where do I actually start? It is a good question. And the answer, perhaps surprisingly, is simpler than most people expect. The single biggest mistake businesses make when they decide to engage with AI is trying to do too much too soon. They commission a strategy. They bring in consultants. They talk about transformation programs and technology roadmaps and enterprise integration. Months pass. Budget is spent. And by the time anything actually happens, the moment of momentum has gone, and the whole thing quietly dies somewhere between a steering committee and a procurement process. The businesses that get real results from AI fast do the opposite. They start small, they start practical, and they start now. Pick one problem. The most effective way to begin is to identify one specific, concrete problem in your business that costs time, creates friction, or produces inconsistent results. Not a vague aspiration. A specific thing. The weekly report that takes half a day to compile. The customer inquiry process that relies on one person and falls apart when they are away. The tender documents that always feel like they are being written from scratch. The compliance paperwork that piles up because nobody enjoys doing it. Pick one. Just one. And ask the question, could AI help with this? In almost every case, the answer will be yes. And starting with one real problem, rather than a grand vision, does something important. It gives you a success to build on, a proof point, something concrete that demonstrates value, builds confidence, and creates the internal momentum that makes the next step easier. Get your hands on the tools. There is no substitute for direct experience. Reading about AI, including reading this book, will only take your understanding so far. The step change in comprehension comes when you actually use the tools yourself. Start with the conversational AI platforms. ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini all have free tiers that require nothing more than an email address to access. Open one up. Start talking to it as if you were briefing a highly capable member of your team. Describe your business. Ask it to help you draft something. Give it a document and ask it to summarize the key points. Ask it a question about your industry. Ask it to write a response to a difficult customer email using the context you provide. Do not worry about doing it perfectly. Do not worry about using the right terminology or asking the right kind of question. Just start. The tools are designed to handle imperfect conversational input, and the fastest way to understand what they can do is to find out for yourself. Most leaders who do this for the first time report the same experience. Initial skepticism, followed by genuine surprise, followed by a rapid mental inventory of everything in their business this could apply to. That mental inventory is the beginning of a real AI strategy, not a document produced by a consultant, but a lived understanding of what is possible in your specific context. Build a simple habit. Once you have the tools in your hands, the next step is to build a simple daily habit around using them. This does not need to be complicated or time-consuming. 15 minutes a day is enough to develop genuine fluency over the course of a few weeks. Use AI to draft the first version of things you would normally write yourself. Use it to research topics before meetings. Use it to summarize long documents you need to read. Use it to think through decisions by describing the situation and asking for different perspectives. Use it to prepare for difficult conversations by rehearsing responses to likely objections. Each time you use it, you will learn something about how to direct it more effectively. You will develop a sense of where it excels and where it needs more guidance. You will build the practical intuition that no amount of reading can provide. And you will find yourself becoming, almost without noticing it, genuinely competent with a set of tools that most of your peers are still treating as something to look into later. Involve your team. One of the most important things you can do as a leader is make AI exploration a team activity rather than a solo exercise or a top-down mandate. The people closest to the work, the ones doing the administration, handling the customers, managing the processes, are the ones best placed to identify where AI can make the biggest difference. They are also the ones most likely to adopt new tools enthusiastically if they feel involved in the decision rather than subjected to it. Create space for your team to experiment. Share what you are trying. Ask them where they see the biggest time drains and friction points. Run a simple session where everyone spends an hour trying to use AI to solve one problem in their own role. The insights that come from that kind of ground-level exploration are invariably more practical and more immediately actionable than anything produced in a strategy document. It also sends an important signal. A leader who is personally engaged with AI, who is trying things, making mistakes, learning openly, and involving their team in the process, creates a culture of curiosity and adaptability that is one of the most valuable things any business can have right now. Set realistic expectations. Getting started with AI well requires one more thing, and it is worth being direct about it. Realistic expectations. AI tools are remarkable. They will genuinely surprise you with what they can do. But they are not magic, and they are not infallible. They will occasionally produce output that is wrong, that misses the point, or that requires significant editing before it is useful. They work best when you give them clear, specific instructions and treat the first output as a starting point rather than a finished product. The leaders who get frustrated with AI early are usually the ones who expected it to be perfect from the first attempt. The leaders who build genuine capability with it are the ones who treat it like any other skilled resource, something that improves with good direction, clear feedback, and a bit of patience in the early stages. Your first move does not need to be bold. It does not need to be expensive. It does not need a business case, a budget approval, or a project plan. It needs 15 minutes, an internet connection, and a willingness to start. Everything else follows from there. A practical starting point. If you want something specific to do today, here it is. Open Claude, ChatGPT, or Gemini. Type the following, filling in the details relevant to your business. I run a business in the industry sector with approximately number employees. Our biggest operational challenge right now is describe the challenge. Can you suggest 3 practical ways AI could help us address this and what tools I should look at first? Read the response. Ask follow-up questions. Push back on anything that does not make sense. Explore the suggestions. Spend 30 minutes in that conversation and see where it takes you. That single exercise will teach you more about what AI can do for your specific business than most strategy documents ever will. The journey starts with one step. You have already taken several just by reading this far. In the next chapter, we talk about something that accelerates everything. Finding the right people to support you on this journey, and how to know the difference between genuine expertise and expensive noise.